Valentina, tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm originally from Ukraine, from the Black Sea. I was born in a place called Odessa, and I spent my childhood, my early childhood there before we moved to Scotland, to St Andrews, and I went to school there called Madras College, and you know, have basically lived in the UK for most of my life. I moved down to London about 15 years ago, so consider myself British rather than Ukrainian, I have to say.
How did you find the transition from moving from Ukraine to Scotland? I imagine it's quite a big difference.
Sure, yes, of course. It was a big culture shock for me. And, you know, I spoke a little bit of English, but didn't understand the Scottish accent initially. So, you know, I struggled a little bit with that at the beginning, but everyone was so friendly and helpful. And, you know, I soon picked up not only English, but also the Scottish twang.
Twang.
And yeah, so, but of course I was very very homesick to begin with, and I think that's where I started to get interested in songwriting. My first song that I wrote was in Russian, and it was about Odessa, my place of birth. And then I started writing in English, and kind of pouring my emotion into music, and was also doing piano training, doing all the grades, had a private tutor. So continued with my musical studies in Scotland, but I started learning piano and singing at age 6. So music was always a big part of my life, a faithful friend, a constant
companion. So
yes, yeah.
We'll talk about the single in a second, but before we do that, you're also an environmental lawyer. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure, yeah. So this is the other side of my life, a second career, as it were. I studied languages at university. I was always very good at languages, you know, and the arts and creative side of things. And then I wanted to get a qualification, and I was always interested in law. So I retrained as a lawyer, did a conversion course when I finished my university studies. And environment was the area of law that I immediately had a connection with. And probably it's linked to, you know, where I come from. You know, Ukraine was struck by the terrible Chernobyl tragedy. So I think I was always aware of, you know, health and safety risks and kind of environmental kind of issues. And I saw environmental law as a fantastic platform to keep learning about how businesses and people can be more responsible in terms of how they treat environment. So yeah, so this is my second career. I work for a big law firm, and you know, it's all very interesting and intellectually stimulating work. I've been doing that for 13 years now.
Would the dream be,
alongside music, of course?
Would the dream be just to do music on its own, or are you perfectly content doing both?
The dream, of course, is to focus full time on music. I don't know how that would look like. You know, obviously, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I'm not young. And
I give you an
there's so
argument
much talent.
on that.
Please do reassure me. But
I'm not sure if I'm supposed to say
I,
this, but you look great. So I think you got quite a bit of continuity in that department still.
Well, thank you so much. You know how to make a woman feel better about her age. But yes, you know, I know that there's so much talent out there, but I really hope that there is an audience. There is, you know, an audience for my music, and so I'm really hoping to get my music heard more in the near future. And who knows where that takes me? music is something that comes really easily to me. It's my passion. It's the air that I breathe, my oxygen. And law is slightly different. Law is a very serious profession. You know, it's very demanding, very challenging, requires a lot of reading and, you know, a lot of hard work. But at the same time, I am content to be doing both, because one feeds the other. So, you know, law feeds the music side of things in terms of studios and music equipment, and being able to work with really talented producers and record in the best studios. So from that perspective, I'm lucky. I'm lucky to have this safety net, you know, to rely on and to be independent and secure. I never wanted to be a struggling musician, because I had members of my family who were, and so they set kind of an early example that I want to stand firmly on my feet, and then from there try and achieve what I want to achieve in the arts.
Do you feel that the music industry penalizes age?
Yes, I do. But I hope to be proven wrong. I hope to be proven wrong.
Right, go ahead.
Yes, I think I see it as a challenge. I mean, who knows? You know, maybe I will make it kind of later in my life, because it's only now that I'm starting to focus on music more and really think of it as a business person. Because before I was just writing songs and performing and not really thinking about the marketing side of things. And now I'm putting more effort into the marketing and promotion and changing my attitude slightly, and trying to be more business-like when it comes to my music. So I'm hoping to kind of reap better rewards going forward.
Right, let's talk about the single. It's called All For You. Can you tell us a little bit about the background to it?
Sure, yes, with pleasure. So All For You is again about that perfect relationship that I have with music. Many people who hear the song, they think it's about a special someone. And for many people, that's what will resonate. It will be about that special someone in their life that they can run to, that lights up their soul. For me, of course, I have people like that in my life. But primarily music is that one unconditional love that I have that's always been there. And that love is divine, really, you know, and so it's completely pure, and it does everything for me, and I do everything for music. So that's what the song is about. But, I wrote it during the lockdown, and I just wanted to write something happy, despite everything that was going on in 2020, early 21. So that's how the song was born. I was just sitting on the piano, and I came up with a melody first on the piano. And I didn't have the lyrics yet, but to me the melody sounded really, really happy, really kind of light, uplifting. And it took me a while to come up with the lyrics, because I knew it was a love song, but I didn't know who I was writing it to yet. So there were many versions of the lyrics, and then finally it came to me after quite a few months, I have to say. I worked in it, almost every week, and changed lots of lyrics, and finally found the lyrics that fitted best with what I was trying to bring out.
Where would you see yourself in 10 years' time musically?
Oh, that's a great question. I see myself performing in big venues, like Albert Hall, 5,000 plus people, and really getting a wider exposure for my music. That's the dream. That's always been the dream. And also getting my music into films. People often comment that my songs sound like something out of a James Bond movie. So I would love to get my music into James Bond films. So that's the dream, that's the target, that's the goal. So I'll just keep working towards it. And that's what my third album is about. It's going to be James Bond-esque songs, ones that are already released, that are out there, combined with new material that I've been writing during lockdowns. So yeah, watch the space.
Do you have any aspirations to act? Sorry.
Oh, wow. I do actually. How did you know that?
I'm a little bit psychic.
I do have aspirations to act. I'm very drawn to films, and I'm very theatrical in the way that I am anyway. I like to entertain. I like to make people laugh. I like to be in the center of attention, which is not always a good thing. But yeah, acting, I definitely love to try it. I've just acted in my own music video for all of you, all for you, for the single. It's being edited at the moment, and it will be released soon. So yeah, so that was a taste of acting for me, and I really loved it. Yeah, I could make it my day job for sure.